Did Kim really abandon her staff and refuse to give them breaks? Is Kylie really responsible for the job loss of thousands of her workers? And what's really lurking beneath the glamorous mega company that we call Kylie Cosmetics? The staff speak out. The Kardashians are known for their constant scandals. It's what keeps their empire running. But over the years, workers and friends of the reality stars have stepped forward to speak out on their extremely harsh mistreatment. And boy, you'd be shocked to know that the Kardashian sisters aren't as innocent as they seem. Scandals and lawsuits are literally Kim Kardashian's thing. After all, she's the star of the show. From the infamous leaked tape to her ongoing high-exposure divorce with Kanye, Kim has had her plate full when it comes to being a full-time controversy. But Kim K has been making headlines for some pretty shocking things, one of which being the mistreatment of her staff. Sources have confirmed that the reality star is not paying overtime to the workers who oversee her home, as well as adding that Kardashian is not covering their expenses or providing legal breaks to her workers maintaining her California Hidden Hills home. 7 members of staff stepped forward to file a case against Kim for more than $25,000 in LA County Superior Court. NBC News claimed the people working for Kim never received any pay stubs, were not paid on regular pay periods, were not given their required meal and rest breaks, were not provided a means to record all their hours, were not paid all their hours. They were also not reimbursed for employment expenses, were not paid all their overtime wages, and were not paid their wages upon termination of employment. Ouch! These are some pretty harsh conditions to be working, especially considering the fact that Kim is a billionaire and could more than afford to pay her staff. The document also shockingly revealed that Kim Kardashian withheld 10% of the workers' pay for taxes, but didn't even report their employment to tax authorities. So, what was Kim's response to this? It's none of my business, to be exact. Kim's lawyers claim that the workers were hired through an agency, which means that it's not technically Kim's responsibility to do all that legal stuff, adding, Kim has never been in a situation where she hasn't paid a vendor for their services and hopes that the issue between these workers and the vendor who hired them can be amicably resolved soon. We can't help but feel for Kim, as the mom of 4 is probably too busy trying to get over her long-term marriage to be focused on the countless staff that she'd hired. But we also don't think that there's any reasonable excuse for this. Leaving workers without an income is a little cruel, even if it's unintentional. We also can't help but think about Kimmy's major brands like Skims and KKW. Are the workers in these large companies being neglected, or are they in good hands? Both ways, it seems like this huge scandal didn't bother Kim at all, as days after it was released in June 2021, the reality star was spotted attending billionaire Jamie Rubin's party and partying with Kanye's arch-enemy, Drake. The boss from hell. The 7 members of staff that were hired to look after Kim's Hollywood home weren't the only ones who exposed the mom of 4. Stephanie Shepard has had the glamorous job of being Kardashian West's assistant for years. In several interviews, Steph expressed what it was really like to work for Kim non-stop. Stephanie confessed that at Kim Ye's famous 2014 wedding, she didn't get to see the ceremony, as she was running around in joggers and a t-shirt looking for Caitlyn Jenner's suit, getting the Kardashian-Jenner siblings ready, as well as turning into a creative director for a day by filming personal moments on behalf of Kim. In an interview, Steph confessed, I was still relatively new back then. I remember just not sleeping that whole week. And then I came home and I got pulled over on Hollywood Boulevard and I just started crying to the police officer, like, please, I'm just exhausted. I gotta go home. You don't understand. Oh no, poor Steph. But if we thought that was bad, Shepard confessed to not dating anyone for the first 2 years of being Kim's right hand because there just wasn't any time. In a 2017 episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Steph opened up to Kourtney Kardashian about being Kim's PA, admitting that she felt a little unfulfilled and didn't want to be Kim's assistant forever. Kourtney told Kim,
I feel like she's just looking to evolve,
suggesting that working for Kim is a little unfulfilling and boring. Kim was extremely angry that Steph spoke to Kourtney about how she felt, saying that her assistant was inappropriate for what she did. Yep, Kim absolutely did not like Steph being friends with her sister and basically told Kourtney to back off. Angry fans defended Shepard by saying, it's not unprofessional for Steph to talk about how she feels to a friend when they're hanging out. People are allowed to think about life in retrospect, Kim. While another fan said she was speaking to Kourtney just in general about life. They went out as friends and talked about life. When she's ready to discuss with you, she will. Of course, Steph wants to challenge herself for the next venture for her career, as anyone would. Beneath Kylie's skin. The second billionaire in the family, Kylie Jenner, has also sparked major backlash for the way that she's been treating her staff, friends, and family. In 2020, Kylie was called out by fans because the company behind her clothing line, Fashion Nova, was refusing to pay factory workers, leaving thousands around the world starving. In an extremely savage way, Fashion Nova cut workers in both Bangladesh and Los Angeles off with no pay and no promise of when they'll actually return to work. Furious fans took to Twitter to say, "Kylie Jenner, so you're out there chilling in one of your mansions while people in Bangladesh are not getting paid for their work? Ouch." The public also created a petition with thousands of signatures demanding that the company that Kylie endorses begins to treat workers fairly. But this is only the tip of the iceberg. Though Kylie fans pointed out that Fashion Nova isn't exactly Kylie's personal clothing brand, other fans pointed out that working for Kylie Cosmetics is actually way worse. A former Kylie Cosmetics worker told Radar Online that they were only provided with a lab coat, hairnet, and safety glasses while in the process of working with harsh chemicals and creating the fab palettes that we all love. To make things more awkward, Kylie fans noticed the makeup mogul posted something odd on Snapchat, a video of herself wearing goggles, a hairnet, and lab coat to take fancy selfies. Considering the fact that employees were struggling to protect themselves with appropriate gear due to an extremely poor budget, yet Kylie was posing in the correct protective gear for views, was a bit of a low blow. Though some fans came to Kylie's defense to insist that though Kylie Cosmetics' conditions are bad, the makeup palettes are totally legit as they're not tested on animals. But testing them on workers before releasing them to the public is just as cruel and unethical. When Kylie decided to expand her makeup line, she tested the latest eyeshadow palettes on employees who came back with severe headaches and got ill as a result. TMZ later confirmed that the palettes smelled like chemicals and glue. Okay, there must be some positives in working for Kylie, right? Hanging around the makeup mogul and her momager must be extremely cool and exciting. Not according to reviews on Indeed. Employees confessed that the most enjoyable part of their days at the factory occurred during their breaks because the management team were being extremely harsh to the employees, making it extremely uncomfortable to work for Kylie Cosmetics. And of course, the majority of the workers wrote that the pay is very minimal. Fans took to the internet to express how they truly felt about Kylie Cosmetics by saying no health insurance for her workers, minimum wage, and poor work conditions, yet you're a billionaire? You've got to be kidding me. And maybe if she took better care of her employees, they would care to do their job well. I mean, who really wants to work hard for an employer that treats you like crap? I mean, it just doesn't add up. Surely, providing employees with safer gear and a little more pay wouldn't hurt Kylie's bank account, right? But then again, that's how the rich stay rich. Exposure over money. It looks like Kylie's also been upsetting other people in the industry, as well as her own staff. When Andrea Turbea, a mega famous YouTube animator, was asked to work with the mega famous reality star, he thought that his life would change forever. A huge budget, a sassy appearance on Keeping Up with the Kardashians, a private getaway with Kris. If Kylie Jenner ever wanted to work with you, celebrity privileges will definitely be on the table. But this is where it got super awkward. After asking about the money that he'd be getting, the response that he received was,
We don't have a lot of budget to pay you, but you know, Kylie Jenner is kind of famous, so you will get a lot of exposure.
Yep, you heard right. Kylie Jenner wanted a famous YouTuber to work for her for free. Exposure's okay, but a small name in print isn't exactly gonna pay the bills. So Andre did what any wise person freelancer would do and turned down working with Kylie. The fact that this YouTuber actually exposed Kylie makes the situation worse because the whole world actually gets to see the fact that the billionaire tries to stay rich by keeping all her money to herself, while fans and staff work for exposure rather than money. Fans even commented, "This guy's a genius. He did not work for Kylie because he wasn't going to earn money there, but by making a video out of why he didn't want to work with Kylie, he got both exposure and money. And Kylie became only a billionaire because she isn't paying her employees fair." I mean, that sounds about right. We'd absolutely love to hear your thoughts on all of the Kylie scandals that have been circling the internet. Is the mom of one really refusing to pay her staff? And will Kylie Cosmetics even be around 10 years from now, considering the awful and shocking conditions of the factory? Be sure to leave your comments below.